Hello everybody and welcome to the table. Today we're showing off a brand new knife from Oknife. So this one right here is the Heron R1, the Heron R1. So what initially drew me to this knife, of course, is this really cool coloration that we see right here. So we have desert tan and these green scales. So I think it makes a really nice contrast here. But what else is there to this knife? So what we are looking at here is a knife on bearings that runs on this axis lock style mechanism. So with Oknife, they call this their rail lock. So a rail lock, which of course works really well for knives, that's axis style lock mechanism. Very fidgety, very easy to actuate. It's very secure in the handle. There's no movement in the handle when the knife is closed. So I think it's really well executed. We can see this blade right here. So our blade steel, we can see listed right there. This is a D2 steel blade. Here on the show side of the knife, we have the Oknife logo, as well as that blade designation. And I do like the coloration. This is a Cerakoted blade. And so we can see not only is this blade Cerakoted, but all that hardware. So the pivot, the screws, the pocket clip, even the liners and the standoffs, all in that desert tan coloration. So it's kind of cool. A lot of thought went into this, and we can see that just with the way this knife is built and constructed. It's pretty well put together, to be perfectly honest with you. And so if it's still the case, I do believe that Kaiser is the manufacturer for Oknife. And so this definitely does have that Kaiser quality in hand. Feels really good. Everything I'm seeing about this knife so far is just kind of screaming quality at you. So on this side of the blade, we can see the Heron R1 markings, as well as some sort of a serial number up there. But also, of course, it doesn't just stop at the blade. I love the G10 scales, pretty well done. We can see the texture on there. It feels smooth, going this direction, but as soon as you put any lateral pressure on it, you can feel that G10 start to bite, which is kind of cool. So in hand, it definitely feels pretty secure. And I don't see too many knives that have this much of the G10 kind of machined in this decorative fashion. But this is definitely more than just decoration. It actually functions pretty well. And what's kind of nice about that is that it goes in the same direction as the pocket clip. So it's not going to be the type of G10 that's going to rip up your pants, getting it in and out of your pocket. So pretty cool. But speaking of this pocket clip, you can see right here, nice deep carry pocket clip. There is definitely a cutout on the other side of the frame as well. So you can do left or right hand side, tip up carry. I like how the screws are flush in the handle, so there's nothing to protrude, nothing to prevent you from getting this deep into your pocket. Tension feels pretty good as well, so that's kind of nice. By getting this blade out of the handle, let's go ahead and look at the specs really quick. So let's check out the blade length here. So for the Heron R1, we are looking at a blade length of about 3¼ inches long. So 3¼ inches, and the overall length looks like it's right around 7½ inches. So pretty good size for what you would say maybe an everyday carry knife, EDC knife. And our weight, we can check it out right here as well. It says on the box right here, 3.42 ounces. Let's check the accuracy of that. Okay, so we are weighing in right at, well, 3.45 ounces. That's pretty much within the realm of mistakes there, and my scale may not be the most accurate. So really nice 3.4 ounce knife, 7½ inches of overall length, D2 steel blade. A lot of good things going on here with this knife. So what we also have that came with the knife, we have the Oknife pouch. Generally, every Oknife does come with this pouch right here. Just a nice little freebie thrown in. And they also threw in this patch, so we can see the Heron R1. It's kind of colorful, actually. Have the lizard on there, kind of a cowboy theme, cowboy motif. Not sure why they called it the Heron if we're going to have a giant lizard on there. But either way, it's kind of a cool little freebie they threw in. And I will say, for those of you watching who collect Oknives, they did not include a coin with this knife. So it seems to me fairly random. Some Oknives come with coins, and I'll say most of them do, but some of them come with patches, like this one right here, and some of them come with no, freebies at all. So it's kind of hard to figure out which is which until you see people start to open them up. Okay, what did it come with? I kind of do miss the coins, because I like the coins just for the collectability aspect, the swag aspect. So I'm starting to get quite a few of these of these Oknife coins just kind of hanging around. But I do like them. They're kind of just a fun little freebie that, gets thrown in. So I would rather see coins as opposed to patches, but, it's a toss-up. Some people prefer patches because you can do more things with them. Some people prefer the coins for the collectability, sake. But either way, as long as they include something, I'm generally happy. So this is what the Heron R1 comes with. Patch rather than coin. So if that bothers you, I just wanted to be the first one to tell you I'm sorry. So let's get these coins off to the side really quick. But in terms of box art and quality, that's all really great. So if you're going to give this knife as a gift, presentation looks really good. You have a couple of the specs here on the front of the box, but other than that, it's pretty plain. But it definitely shows you what you're buying. I think that's always a nice thing. But let's do a few size comparisons with this knife. So let me put the Heron R1 down right here. And on the table we have, let's check it out, we have a Kershaw Blur. So this right here, assisted opener, aluminum handles. I think it's a little bit larger than the Heron, maybe just by a smidge. Definitely a little bit heavier. But we also have on the smaller side right here, we have the Benchmade Bug Out. So very lightweight, a lot thinner. But in terms of usable blade length, pretty similar. And just going a little bit smaller than that, we can also pull out the Kershaw Cryo. So this is a super popular model, been out for probably 10 years now. But taking a look at this knife right here, we can check out just the size comparison. And honestly, the Heron fills this really nice role in my opinion. 3¼ inch blade, 7½ inches long. I think that's a really popular and common size for an everyday carry knife. So I'm glad they chose that size for this particular one. It's kind of like the Goldilocks. It's not too big. It's not too small. It's just right. So that is at least my first thoughts when I'm looking at this knife, holding this knife. It definitely appears as advertised. Because a lot of the times you buy a knife, it looks really big in the photos, and you take it out of the box and it's tiny. Not really the case here. This one actually appears, exactly how I thought it would in hand. Love the curves and the upswept design. Love the fact they skeletonized these liners on the interior for weight savings. So they did a lot right here, and honestly, not a whole lot wrong. In terms of sharpness, let me just get out my scrap paper right here. Yeah, blade, of course, no problem. Very sharp right out of the box, as I would expect. But again, trying to think of anything negative to say about this knife, and not a lot is coming to mind. These are just my first impressions, so take those for what they are. But if you have any questions about this knife, feel free to drop a comment below. Hope you all have a knife day out there, everybody, and I'll see you later. Bye-bye.